recorded. Okay, so welcome to Appleton Private University, UK, Spain, together with Y.Y.C.I International Academy, UK Global Online Diploma Masterclass. And we've started the journey since May, and I believe that we are all catching up with the assignments. And if you miss any of these sections, please watch the video on YYCI.TV YouTube channel. And with the various models that we are covering on this masterclass is mindset, personal development, emotional intelligence stroke management, artificial intelligence, both the theory and the practical, financial intelligence, leadership and management in education, and also leadership and management. And we cover both Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please make an attempt to attend the class, ask questions, or answer any questions being asked quickly so that we don't waste much time, and then submit all your assignments. If you miss any section, please visit YYCI.TV. Subscribe to that TV because you'll be having regular on that. And then once you click the video that you've missed, the questions are actually there. And if they're not there, then you can ask for the other assignments. So let's start off with our short clip.
Dear God, we came to you in prayer with a humble heart. Please guide us and give us strength as we navigate through this day. Help us to be a vessel of your love and kindness to make a positive impact in the world.
May your presence be with me always, and may I always strive to do your will. Thank you for your blessings and for the gift of life. Amen.
So, special information for this Global Online Diploma, like I've said, is 3 months Global Online Diploma Masterclass, durable for at least 1 hour, 30 minutes for each lecture, and it's from 10 o'clock to 2:30. Today we might not have the 1 o'clock one because it's only 2 of us, and the attendance and the involvement and the assignments must be 80% to be qualified to receive the diploma certificate. Assignment must be completed and be submitted before the next module, and diploma certificates will be issued during the online global graduation on the 2nd of August, 10 o'clock UK time. So my own section is on mindset and personal development, which I have started. I know I only gave you one assignment, but very soon you will get the second assignment. Like, you know that it's not easy to be running the program and also involving in the program. So mine is mindset and personal development, which we've started this series. We covered a lot on mindset, and now we've started with the personal development. So that is who I am. And also, yes, we'll be talking more about mindset for transformation on personal development. So, like I always ask, are you comfortable the way you are currently? Are you happy about the event reoccurring in your life? Can you see the mindset you have currently and maybe have held on for a long time has affected your life and the social positively? What if the mindset you have right now have separated you from their friends, denied you of precious favors and opportunities, and have been a major barrier to your happiness and self-fulfillment? Will you also say that your mindset has and is attracting the right people and opportunity? But let me charge you, First step to getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. You need to keep moving. Even if you have to crawl, run, fly, or walk, you still need to keep moving. So desire to become better in life, in your relationship, in business, and in your leadership by changing your mindset. Set goals, take actions, and get better. Change is needed, especially in this modern world of technology. As you can see that one of our modules is on artificial intelligence. So if that is the case, then with change mindset, there will be no change. And without changing your mindset, there will be no change. Without changing your mindset, there will be no progress. And change will bring efficiency, fulfillment, and satisfaction in life. So, the main reason why we are studying on this particular subject of mindset and personal development is because we want to break free from four elements that always hold us back, that always limit us, that always stop us or even discourage us. And these four elements are ignorance. Yes, because if you don't keep learning, growing your mindset, and also updating your knowledge, you will be on ignorance of certain things. And they always say that ignorance can kill. So we have to keep learning, especially in the areas of personal development. And lack of understanding. Yes, I specifically, we always focus on that particular statement, lack of understanding, because it's not a many masterclass, conferences, workshops, seminars, classes that you attended. Is how well do you understand what you've been taught? And that's why we always encourage every one of you to keep listening with attentive ears and also flow with it. And that's why we keep on engaging you by asking questions. And after all, you also have freedom. You have the right to ask questions to clarify what you've learned so that you get a better understanding. Lack of vision. They normally say that people perish because of lack of wisdom. Why? Lack of vision. If you have no dream, if you have no vision, then the matter is, what are you doing? Where are you going? What do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? So you have to first of all desire it and dream it. So when you have vision, then that will give you the doorway to what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to become, what you want to achieve, even your goals. So you need to have a vision. Without the vision, you cannot set up a goals. So what's your vision? So you need to know that. Then unknown of our identity of who we are and our purpose, which is very important. Do you know who you are? Do you know your ability, your capacity? Do you know that you have greatness in you? Do you know that you are gifted? Do you know your talents? Do you know that you can grow your mindset? Do you know? Because if you don't know who you are, you won't be able to develop yourself. Because you can put yourself down, you can deny yourself, and sometimes you can even, okay, so you can deny yourself. So that is why you need to know your identity, know who you are and your purpose. Why are you on earth? Why are you created? Why are you on this platform? Why are you doing what you are doing? All these things you need to know. Okay, so let's move on. The scripture says wisdom is the principal things, and in all our getting, we get better understanding. But then better understanding of life will lead you to a better and quality performance and fulfill in life. And these ones will only start with personal development. And that is why we dedicate today for teaching you on personal development. You can develop all kinds of skills. You can develop everything. But what about you yourself? How are you developing yourself? How are you adding value to yourself? Because the way you present yourself in the society is the way people will take you, is the way people will respect you. How are you branding yourself? because personal branding and also corporate branding is so important. You can even use personal, when you have a very strong personal branding, you won't struggle with your business. You won't struggle with what you do. So personal development is very, very important because that's the only way you can position yourself in the society. Please, only one person can speak, and I don't want anyone to disturb. Please mute yourself. It's very important. Thank you so much. Okay. So wisdom is the principal thing, and in all our getting, we get better understanding. We've talked about this transformation last week. If you missed it, the tape is there already. But for this stage, I will just mention this word of God again that says, which has been transformed, fashioned according to this word. That means, be ye not fashioned according to this word, but be ye transformed by the renewing, again, renewing of your mind, and ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. If you don't renew your mind, if you don't upgrade your mind, if you don't protect the information draw into your mind, you won't be able to grow your mind or renew your mind. And if you can't renew your mind, you can't expect change or transformation in your life. So that is why it is so important. So I'm going to put my slides down and welcome all our great leaders on this platform. Thank you for joining us. I believe others as well will join us. Good morning, Mr. Soweton Taiwo. Good morning, Mr. Adelaja Toby. Good morning, Madam Bridget. Good morning, Mrs. Sarah. Good morning, Mrs. Rachel. Good morning, Mr. Adeshino Adiremi. And good morning, Captain Eyari. And many more that will be joining us. We really appreciate you. And those that have joined us before, but because of the internet, and I believe that they will come and join us again as we continue our journey. Okay, so let's continue with our personal development. We did said last week when I started that the areas we want to look at when we are talking about personal development will be social life, managing emotions, spiritual lifestyle like faith, your beliefs, then the mental reading, your mental lead, and then the physical, which is health and well-being. Okay, but before I move on, there are two things I need to let you know. Number one, mindset is everything. Without renew your mindset, there will be no transformation. So I now believe that you want transformation in your lives, you want transformation in your leadership, and even in your profession. And that is why you are here today. So, and then I said, for you to develop yourself, when we talk of personal development, everything in life requires what? Hard work. You've got to be working hard, dedication, be committed to yourself. Focus on building yourself up. We call it self-care or personal development. Then you need to sacrifice. When you sacrifice, you also need to discipline yourself. Because not everything that you see that you want, not everything that you want to eat that your body will benefit from. So you need to discipline yourself and be dedicated to that. You need to sacrifice some time. Like some of you, you are here on this module. You have sacrificed your time this morning to be here. Why? Because you want to learn and you want to improve in your own life. Commitment, sacrifice, investment is also very important because not everything that will be free. If you really want to move far in your life, if you really want to achieve great in your life, you need to really invest more into your development. And also honesty. You have to be honest to yourself. There's no point of pretending. There's no point of putting the garment of others. You have to really be honest with yourself, because when you are honest with yourself and you know your weakness and your strengths, then you will be able to see that your strengths will take you there. Your strengths will bring opportunity. Your strengths will attract favor. Your strength will promote you. But your weakness, you can also not to ignore it. It's a way of improvement. So every one of us has our strength and our weakness. We are going to talk more about it practically today. So please bear with us. So, and then we say integrity. Whatever you're doing, you have to be very transparency, very openness, and also making sure that people can trust you. That's what integrity. If people can trust you, then that means you are doing the right thing. And then we have to have gratitude, heart of gratitude. Always thankful where you are, what you are doing, your position now, because tomorrow is going to be better than today. So let's move on. I also said something last week as well, which I've mentioned one of it already. Recognize your strength. We're going to do some practical works today, and I want everybody to be ready to write some things down on. You can write it on the chat box or you can write it on your own paper, but this is practical. So we're going to be talking about recognize your strength, your weakness, and the opportunities and threats. We call it SWOT in business terms. Then set a SMART goal. So we're going to talk about the SMART goals this today, because if you really want to develop yourself, then you need to set goals and objectives. How do you want to introduce yourself? How do you want to develop yourself? Then find a mentor. If you have not have any mentor, I think it's very important that you have mentors, because mentors knows what you want. They knows already what you want to know, and they will guide you through so that you won't repeat the same mistakes that they made. They've learned from their mistakes. Even if you're going to make your own mistake, at least still learn from them, and that will help you. And even if you make the same mistakes, at least your mentors can be able to talk to you, share their own stories and experiences, and you can learn from that to face your own challenges. Then expand your knowledge, like what we are doing now. It's very important that we expand our knowledge, keep learning, because learning is lifelong. Learning is living. Any leader you see out there, they keep on learning. Even if your degree is up to professional degree, you still learn professional level. You still need to keep learning, because learning is living. And always, always, even though we are surrounded with negative, always, always embrace positive. It's very important, because negative will drag you back, but the positive will keep you going. So, we also talked last week about the personal development. We started saying that social growth is one of them. And social growth is to improve your communication skills and active listening. Speaking will promote relationship, friendship, live in harmony, perform well, and gives satisfaction. And then we talk about emotional growth. Emotional growth is about developing and managing your own feelings about and how we react to any situations. This can help over challenges and expressing our emotions effectively. If we can learn that skills, it will enhance the way we treat others, the way we respond to the situation, the way we face the challenges and overcome it, you know. So this emotional effect, if you're patient, so you need to express your emotion effectively and be patient. You have to learn to be patient, to be open as well, because you can't keep it yourself. To be tolerant, to know that you are not the only one in this world, and to understand even yourself. Who are you? What's your skills? What do you have? What's your talent? What's your ability? So these things you need to know. Because what if you can discover yourself, then you can develop it. So that is very, very important. And the situation. Hey, then we talk about the spiritual growth, such as faith. Like myself, I'm a Christian. Some of you might be Muslim or any other religion. So, but your relationship with your God Almighty is what is very important. So how do you connect? How do you relate with God? Is it by praying, meditating, reading Bible, or fellowship with other brethren, listening to sermon, or meditate, or even you yourself get the revelation direct from God by studying more regular? And even if it is by nature as well, you can go out, go to the park, be yourself, experience the atmosphere, listen, watch the nature, watch the birds and other things, just feel good of yourself. And that will ease the stress, that will make you to manage your stress, and also build confidence in yourself and even in your ability. Then the mental growth focuses on the development of your mind, thinking, learning, researching, observing, improving your mental growth. Hold on a second, please. I just need to. Oh, okay, sorry for the pause. Yes, so that is what we are all covering, but we will be doing some practicals today. That's why I'm expecting many people to join us. Okay. And then when we talk about the physical growth, it's about taking care of your body. Healthy body facilitates effective brain function. Eating nutrition. Am I talking? Did I? Okay, yes, I'm that. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. Right. So physical growth is also another part of personal development. It's about taking care of your body. Healthy body facilitates effective brain functioning. Eating nutritious food meal, exercising regularly, and having an adequate sleep. So now the questions I need to ask ourselves today is, like I said, the first thing first is to know who you are. And I think I have mentioned this last week, and I said probably that was an assignment I said last week. I said to you that you need to ponder on these questions. So maybe we should start with that personally. So in this moment, good morning, sir. Senior Professor Charles, thank you so much for joining us. Right. So I want us to ask this question. You don't need to say it. If you want to just express it, you can then write it. If you know yourself and you want to be proud of yourself to let us know who you are, you can type it on the chat box. So I'm going to ask the questions and I'm going to give few seconds for us to ponder on those questions. Are we ready? Let me see. Who is ready? Please type. If you are ready, say yes. If you are ready, say yes. You can type yes on the chat box. I want to know who is ready for this exercise, the first exercise for today. Okay, right. So I will be asking you that question. It's up to you if you want to type it on the chat box. It's up to you if you want to ponder on it and just think deeply. Because some of us might not even know who we are. So I believe that the next question you're going to ask me, how do you know who you are? But now let's do the exercise. So while you are relaxing at the moment, we're going to do this exercise for 2 minutes if it's possible. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to be asking you questions and deep down you answer. Thank you so much because I know that everybody's ready. Oh, Dr. Matala, thank you so much. Captain Iyari, thank you so much. Engineer Additional, thank you so much. Mr. Ashuyeton, thank you so much. Ambassador Sarah, thank you so much. Mr. Dilaja, thank you so much. And Mr. Shueton, thank you so much. Madam Bridget, thank you so much. Yes, I believe we are all ready. Good. So the question now, I want you to listen carefully. This is very important. We are doing exercise together. You are the only one that will know who you are. So I'm going to be asking the questions. You'll be thinking deeply about it. We're going to do it for 3 minutes. Okay? Okay. So let's start. If you want to type it, that's fine. If you want to just answer it within yourself, that's fine. But the only thing you can do for me, if you want to do it yourself, you can just react by giving me maybe your best emoji, either on the chat box or on the screen, just for me to know that we are all doing the exercise together. So let's go. Who are you? Or who am I? I'm asking myself, and I want you to ask yourself. So the question will be directed to me, but I want you to take it as your own question. Okay? Who I am. Can you hear me properly? Because it's very important we do this exercise together. Now, let's sit down and reflect. Who am I? What is my purpose on earth? Why am I created? What is my strength and my weakness? Why am I here on earth? What am I dislike or like? Okay, this exercise will help you to know who you are, because sometimes we need to slow down. Because if you don't know who you are, you will be tempted to want to copy others, or you'll be tempted to be wishing to become others, or you'll be tempted to want to compete or compare yourself with others. And that is why it is so important that you take these words. Thank you so much, Dr. Motala. So you can see all the questions are on the platform. And you can do the same exercise over and over again in your own closet. In fact, probably you just want to come out from all the noisy area and just go somewhere, sit down, and ponder on these questions. Why is it important that we answer these questions? Because some people might easily give up on themselves. Some people might be looking up to others, hoping that others are blessed or others are lucky. Some people might be comparing themselves and saying, oh, look at that person is good. I'm not good. Look at that person. He's so wonderful, but I am not. It's because we pull ourselves down. The advantages of knowing these things and answering it to yourself, it builds confidence. It builds confidence, self-esteem. We become I. And that is why we can only do it ourselves. So that is the first activity that we're going to do today. So thank you so much, Dr. Matala. You can copy those questions and practice it. If you practice these questions every day, or at least twice in a week, you can write your experience. How do you feel? How do you feel after you answer these questions? Some of them might not be easy. Some of them you might be struggling. And that is where you need mentor. Mentor is not there to answer who you are, but to guide you. And that is what I am doing personally as a mentor to the youth. To help them to bring who they are out. Their greatness, their uniqueness, their authenticity, their originality. Thank you so much for sharing who you are. Madam Bridget, I am a people's builder. I call out greatness in people. I am big on listening and giving solution. Sometimes I procrastinate. I am here to nurture, guide people, especially young mind, all right? I like to learn and invest in others. I dislike dishonesty. I think you still need to work more on that. I appreciate you sharing this. But who you are is different from what do you do. I want you to know that who you are is different from what you do. So think carefully. I mean, like for example, if I want to say maybe few of who I can say, I am who God says I am. I know who I am in Christ Jesus. Because I know that I have the opportunity to build my relationship with Him. So who you are is your personalities. Thank you, Dr. Omotola. So who you are, is how you understand the way you are being created. I have Christ in me, the hope of glory. Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. I shouldn't be afraid of people in the world. I should be afraid or even fear God more. Because the Bible says that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. I know who I am because I know I am capable. I know my ability. I know who I am because I'm prayerfully, wonderfully created by God Almighty. I know who I am because I'm the ambassador, I'm the priesthood, I'm the joint health with Christ. I know who I am because I'm proud to be a woman. I'm not created to be a man. I know who I am because, so when you start saying that to yourself, they say, so why will I? You can respect people. You can adorn them. You can honor them. But you need to know who you are. You are a human being created by God, the universe. You are the masterpiece of yourself. You are the original. There is no, any other person is photocopy. So I believe I have helped you in that area to know that what you do is different from who you are. Another thing as well that I want to bring out from this as well is your purpose. Some people might say, what's my purpose? What is purpose? Purpose is your divine assignment. It's your work, not your job. Purpose is your divine assignment. And sometimes we want to mix it up to say, oh, I'm a qualified this, I'm a certified. No, it's your divine assignment. You can be a medical doctor, but that is not yet. You can be a medical doctor, but it's different from being a carer. So your purpose might be to care for people. So caring is different from your title, your position, your education level. So who you are is different from what you do. Thank you so much, Dr. Um, yes, Madam Bridget. Mr. Dilaja Toby, I believe I have guided you how you will know. But if you still need more, please contact us or contact me direct, and then we'll be able to have a conversation. I'm not going to tell you who you are, but while we start the conversation, and then I'm asking some questions, then you can figure out who you are. That's the job I do, to help people to know who they are. Because it will be like a strength and confidence in you. Because we easily, as human beings, we put ourselves down. So it's very, very important. So please just contact me direct, or maybe after all our exercise in this module, you'll be able to figure out who you are. And then the purpose. For example, my purpose on earth is to bring out the greatness from people. Is to care for people, to support them to their purpose, to support them to reach their destiny. I'm a helper. That's my nature. I'm an evangelist that spread the good news. That's me. That's my purpose. It could be in the areas of preaching the gospel, or in the areas of spreading or sharing my inspirational nugget of wisdom, or the area of inspiring and encouraging people, or the area of motivation, or the areas of encouragement, and even in the areas of prayer. That's me. That's my purpose. And that my purpose can relate to the last questions of what am I dislike or like? What you dislike might be the solution that you need to figure out for people. For example, if I hate children being neglected somewhere, and I hate it, then it could be part of my purpose of making sure I advocate for them, making sure I join the organization that advocate for them, or any resources I can use to donate, to support. So that's me. That's my purpose. Then you want to talk about, why am I created for the first time? Say, let us make man in our own image. To do what? To dominate, to subdue the earth, to multiply. So I believe we are getting this particular exercise. Let's see if we can move on, because this is very key points for today. I gave you the assignment last week for you to go and ponder on these questions. And Dr. Motala has already done a great job by putting it on the chat box. So you can cut and paste and work on it. Because if you can know who you are, the area of your service will be different. You're not going to serve to subdue. I mean, you're not going to serve to put yourself down. You serve people because you know who you are, because you have greatness in you. You serve people because you know you are carrying a solution. You are a power-packed person. You are super, super special. You are a container of greatness. So if you know who you are, nothing else matters. If you know who you are, you don't have to chase or looking for, what's the word now? Approval of others. You don't. If you know who you are, you won't wait for somebody else to come and tear you down, or you won't believe the opinions of others when they are telling you you can't amount to anything. If you know who you are. And I'm talking from my own experience, because for many years I don't know who I am. And that's the time that I want to please people. That's the time I want to be approved to people. And then I end up being perfectionist, which doesn't help me. I'm avoiding to make mistakes, which that is natural, because that we make mistakes, you learn from it. I'm afraid to fail. Whereas failure is not the end of the world. It's the beginning of your success, because if you can discover why you fail, then you study more, then you work hard more, then you add more to it, then you get it right. Life is about try and error, ups and down. So it's very important. Throughout today, if we can, we're going to be working on our strengths and our weakness. So let us continue. We're also going to talk more about the purpose. Okay. But let me give you this truth. The truth is, all the successful and influential people you've learned from or observed or you looked up to always develop themselves to become better and greater. They failed several times, but they keep learning. I'm sure you've heard this word that there's, and I know that we've heard it, even if you haven't heard it from an outsider, you've heard it from your parents or anywhere, where they will say, practice makes perfect. No, no one is perfect. Because the time you think you are perfect, you still have more to do. So perfect makes you get better. That's the statement. Let me also tell you this. Do you know that failure is the beginning of progress? Every setback we turn to come back, and any other challenges and adversity we are all facing, we can come back. It's just a setback. The same challenges can set us up, and then we can move on. The same challenges can set us back, but then it can set us up if you shift your mindset from negative to positive. And then from there, you come back, you bounce back. And when you bounce back, you are not the same as when you first faced that challenge, because you've made yourself stronger, better, and wiser. Let's move on. Failure is a sign to your place of your improvement and development. So it's just a sign, it's just enlightening you the areas that you need to improve. In a business terms, we call it area of improvement. If a proper manager is still telling you, you fail this one, you fail this one, that he doesn't know the principle of business. The principle of business is you just give the constructive feedback and say to that person, you've done very well. but there's still few areas to develop or to get yourself better. Failure is a sign to your place of improvement and development. Sign that you need to gain more knowledge and know it better. That is why we say right from the beginning that learning is living. Failure is also the beginning of exploration, exploitation, and getting better understanding. Failure is the beginning of exploring. You need to explore in life. You need to discover something. Just as a newborn baby, when they reach a certain age, maybe 3 months or 6 months, they discover, why is this hand like that? They discover their feet. And that is why you will see them end up picking up their feet and say, oh, maybe it's for me to put it in my mouth. And that is why sometimes when they now reach the toddler, then they start looking at your electronics in the house and start putting some pens in that hole. Why is that hole like that in that CD or tape or whatever? And that is why they saw this settee, these chairs, and they're jumping on it. Is it for jumping? Is it a jumping mat? Because they're in this area of developing themselves, developing their mental score. Failure is just the beginning of exploration and exploitation, the areas you can exploit, and also gaining better understanding of what you just failed off. For example, if it is one assignment or that exam that you did and you fail it, it's just for you to discover what went wrong. How is it? And then probably you need to read more, or you need to ask more questions, or you need to research for you to get better understanding. It's okay to fail and to make mistakes. Another thing I want to share with you, failure leads to success if we redo and retry again and again and again to get it better. In this world, whatever you have, even with this computer we have and the phone in your hand, the people that really invented those, they first of all started, they had a big dream, yes, but they first started with try and error, fail several times before they can get it right. The cars that we're driving, the house that we live on, there is a try and error until they get it right. Guess what? Failure will not stop you, nor limit you, because you have what it takes to overcome it and progress in life. That is the truth. Remember, I said something about imperfection. Imperfection can lead you to failure. Imperfection can lead you to keep making mistakes. So why don't you be yourself? Be honest to yourself. Do whatever you can do. Control what you can control. Do your best and leave the rest. Okay. The only way to live happily in this world, peacefully, and harmony with one another in this world, is for everyone to admit it, that we are all different. I'm different from Dr. Samina. Thank you for joining us. I'm different from Mr. Ogunbowale Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm different from Mr. Lucas Emmanuel Adarabioyo. I'm different from Madam Rachel. I'm different from Mr. Shueto. and Dr. Motola, Mr. Adelaja, and many more. I'm different, and you are different from me. We are not the same. Remember when I started, that is more reason why you should know yourself. We are all different. We are all not perfect at all. No one is perfect. If we are perfect, we are not supposed to be on earth. Even as a Christian, if you are perfect, and that is why the grace of God is sufficient for us to make things, to correct some things in our lives. That's why we have the guidelines. If you go to any organization, they have their policy and procedures. Why? Because no one is perfect. You might have all your degrees, but then when you enter into one organization, maybe they employ you or they gave you contracts or something. When you get there, the first thing first is the policy of that organization because you don't know it before. So we keep learning and getting better. Not the 41st day that you start the work that you will get everything right. No, because we are not perfect. And we are all can make mistakes. Oh, yes, we make mistakes every day of our lives. The reason why we are understanding all these things is because we are knowing who we are. Because if you can understand who you are, then you will understand that I'm different. You are different. So because we are different, then we can make mistakes. We can fail. We can fall and still rise up again. That's why we can forgive one another. That's why we can embrace changes. We can tolerate one another because we are different. In this module, either today or next week, we're going to be breaking it down because I want everybody to practically involve in this personal development. We are all can make mistakes. We are all have the ability to choose our culture, our religion, our direct tradition, the way we serve our God. We are free. That is the only way we can live peacefully and still respect one another. We cannot isolate ourselves based on our tradition. We cannot isolate ourselves based on our religion
I
because we are all different.
this talks din ay dandarduri.
We are all different. Okay, right. Like I said, we all have the ability to choose and get better understanding. When you get better understanding of what we are doing now by personal development, then you'll be able to now see the picture wider. That person I'm seeing is different from me. The way I'm thinking is different from how he is thinking or she is thinking. And that is where we can embrace peace, knowing that we are different. And that's why we can love one another. And that's the way we can unite together to make things work. But the truth is, we all have a choice and right to make decisions for our lives and get better understanding of how it works. However, majority don't know themselves. And that is why this course is very important. Majority don't know themselves. Because if you know yourself, then you stay calm. You will embrace differences. We all have a choice and right to make decisions for our lives. Because the way I'm developing is different from the way you are developing. The way my body works is different from the way your body works. My perspective is different from yours. What I'm thinking right now, I'm sure if I ask all of us, 12 of us on this platform, I'm sure if I should ask and say, what are you thinking right now? I'm sure we are all thinking differently. Differently. And these are based on the first questions we've been asking you, the series of questions we've been asking you. Okay, now let's go deep. Let me draw you back first to one particular thing. Let me see if I can show you quickly, because it's very important. Have you seen this before? Hold on. Let me come out. Hold on first. One second. Okay. Yes, come out of that. Okay. Sorry. Right. Yeah. Have you seen this phone before? How does our mindset works? The information you stored in your mind, because it's very important. I'm supposed to have shown you this earlier on when we're talking about mindset. But like I said, my model is in between, is interwoven with mindset and personal development. Have you seen this chart before? The information you gathered is being stored in your mindset. It could be a negative one or positive. And that's the word. Then, within that short period, you started gathering this information, either bad or good, negative or positive. By the time you realize it, then you say, oh, it could be true. What that person is saying might be true, either bad or good, negative or positive. That is your beliefs. So your information you stored in your mindset leads you to believe what you are believing now. And your belief systems is what makes you to react on situations, see other people, respond, see opportunities instead of challenges. That's your beliefs. So when you now believe, the next thing is you start thinking, because you have welcomed it. You have welcomed that information. So you start thinking about it. That is why we have various types of thinking. We have the critical thinking, constructive thinking, innovative thinking, creative thinking, based on the informations that have been stored in your minds. And you believe it because you welcome it. So you start thinking. The Bible says, out of the abundance of heart, the mouth think, the mouth speak. It also says that it says that as the man thinks, so is he. Did you hear? Out of the abundance of the mouth speak. And he said that the way the man think is so is he. Okay. So while you are thinking about it, by the time you realize it, you started taking action based on what you are thinking, what you believe, the words you receive in your mind. Then you keep on taking that action. You're taking that action. You are responding, you are reacting. Then you do it consistently. And that makes it an habit. And by the time you realize it, it turns to lifestyle. Take, for instance, with our food. You tasted it, you like it, then you start thinking about it, then you are eating it, then you adjust to it and start eating it, and it's your lifestyle. Either it is good or bad. That's where now the value comes from your lifestyle. It contributes to that. It either add value to you or remove the value. And that will help you to reach your destiny, to fulfill your purpose, to be satisfied, to reach your destiny or your destination, to achieve, to transform. But it all starts from the word you store in your mindset. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, let me just add this quickly and then I will stop for my section to invite Professor Reverend Apabio. Mindset creates self. Mindset creates self, competency, self-awareness, self-beliefs, social awareness, relationship skills, decision-making, silence, sense of purpose, hope for the future. And some of the things to embrace this information you stored in your mindset can lead you to self-talk. Either you say to yourself, I can't do it. Or you say to yourself, I can do it. I can arise. I can overcome. I can manage. I can obtain. These are affirmations. And it's all based on the information you believe on. It also changed your language to be positive. It changed your language. Because if you believe it, then you say it. And then you learn new things and apply based on your mindset that is growing. You grow your mindset by learning, gaining information, updating yourself. Mindset also makes you to go for workshop, to want to learn more, seminars, conferences, masterclasses, to upgrade yourself. Mindset also will lead you to network with others. They learn from you, you learn from them. You network, you connect, you collaborate, you partner with, and build relationship. The mindset also will help you to surround yourself with people with like-minded and positive people. The state of your mind will determine your network, your association, and your network will determine your net worth. It also creates support your mindset. It creates support. How do you want to grow your mindset? How do you want to protect your mind? How do you want to keep your mind operating, working, being active? One of my favorites says, Carol Dweck, her name, says in her book that these two mindsets of growth and fixed mindset can significantly affect your life and career satisfactory. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, the mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, then you can do it. As long as you really, really believe it 100%. So, I'm just going to stop for today. And if you have any question quickly, you can ask me. Any question from personal development and mindset. Do you have any question before we move on? Because I can see our next great lecturer, Professor Reverend APU, is ready for us. So any questions, or will you prefer to listen to him first? And then you can now throw all your questions to both of us. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate you all for joining us this morning. I do understand the connectivity can be a challenge, but we are overcoming it. So thank you for joining us. Dr. Samina, thank you. I'm mentioning the names because that's the way I can register. I can register those that are in each module. So Ambassador Lucas, thank you so much. Dr. Omotola, thank you so much. Ambassador Rachel, thank you so much. Ambassador Sueta Taiwo, thank you so much. Madam Bridget, thank you. Ambassador Ogunbowale Manuel, thank you so much. Ambassador Basi Muchela, thank you so much. Ambassador Adelaja Toby, thank you so much. And if I have not mentioned your name, please forgive me. And Senior Professor General Ebora, my mentor, thank you for joining us this morning. And I want to say thank you, Reverend Professor Akpabio, for joining us.